Hello everyone, my name is Tejal Karnavat and I am a student at BITS Pilani, KK Birla Goa campus. Today I will be presenting our research exploring the challenges of using food journaling apps, a case study with young adults. I would like to thank my co-authors Jaskaran, Surjya and Sougata. I'll start by talking about why users track nutrition and activity. So there are several reasons as to why users track nutrition and activity. One such reason could be for preventive healthcare, which means to take the necessary measures in order to prevent the onset of any disease. Another motivation for users to track their nutrition and activity would be to achieve their health goals, to improve their lifestyle and get a better overall quality of life. Researchers, healthcare experts, and nutrition experts use this information to identify symptom triggers of disorders such as IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, and other eating-related disorders. This helps in reducing the consultation time and also aids in patient-provider collaboration. Researchers also use this information in understanding the causes and effects of obesity and food-related allergies. Traditionally, users made use of a pen and paper-based approach to track their nutrition and activity. However, these pen and paper-based journals are now replaced with digital health monitoring applications owing to the ubiquity of smartphones and a lot of other digital devices. These digital journals have definitely improved over the existing pen and paper-based journals. However, users still face challenges while using these apps. For example, users find it difficult and time-consuming to log details every day and continue using the application over a longer duration of time consistently. So, our objective was to explore user perception of these apps and understand the challenges and issues faced by users while using these apps. To achieve this objective, we conducted 2 user studies. The initial study was an online survey that was conducted through a crowdsourced platform. We mainly collected quantitative data through this survey in order to understand user perception. We aggregated the responses that we received through this study. To get a deeper understanding of the issues that were discovered in the first study, we conducted a follow-up study through which we collected qualitative and quantitative feedback from the users. The initial study was a web-based survey conducted through an online crowdsourced platform, wherein we recruited over 150 participants. Our inclusion criteria was users aged between 18 and 40 years, having prior experience of using digital health monitoring applications. We basically asked users questions around their motivation for using the app, their user experience, and any challenges or problems that they faced while using these apps. From the responses that we received, we found out that participants were highly motivated to use these applications. A lot of them also reported that they observed a change in their lifestyle after using the app for a period of time. However, a lack of discipline was also observed while using these applications over a longer duration of time. Users reported challenges that they faced while using the application, and a lot of missing features were also reported. The major challenges that we found out from this study were the complex UI and navigation part. Users emphasized the need for a simple UI for the home page. They also faced difficulty in estimating serving sizes, and they reported that inaccuracies were introduced while estimating serving sizes. They doubted the nutrient values that were displayed by the app for the selected serving size. Another challenge faced by the users was the huge amount of text entry effort. Through this global survey that we conducted, we identified some of the common issues faced by users while using digital health monitoring applications. And in order to validate these findings and to see if they translated well to users belonging to the same geographic location using the same application, we conducted a follow-up study. We gathered qualitative insights through this study and tried understanding user perception even better, and also tried understanding the challenges that users faced. So the follow-up study was conducted with 31 young adults in India. The inclusion criteria was users aged between 22 and 27 years. We found out that about 60% of these participants had no prior experience of using digital health monitoring applications. We recruited 31 participants for this study and instructed them to use the MyFitnessPal application for a period of 10 days. Pre and post surveys were conducted, and we also administered the system usability scale survey. This scale helps in evaluating the effectiveness, efficiency, and user satisfaction of a system. It is a reliable tool used for measuring the usability of a system. We aimed to understand the usability of the MyFitnessPal application through the SUS survey. Through the second study that we conducted, we tried understanding the usability of the application. We also investigated the frequency of logging data in the application and thematically analyzed the qualitative feedback that we received from users. We conducted the SUS survey to measure the usability of the MyFitnessPal application. The SUS survey consists of 10 questions, each of which have 5 response options from 1 to 5, ranging from strongly disagree to strongly agree. For the odd numbered questions, that is questions 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9, the contribution of the score is the response marked by the user -1, whereas for the even numbered questions, that is questions 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10, the score contribution is 5 minus the scale marked by the user. After calculating the scores in this way, we got the scores in the range of 0 to 40. We further normalized these scores by multiplying them by 2.5 in order to get them in the range of 0 to 100. In the SUS survey, a score below 68 indicates that the usability of the system is below average. In order to interpret the scores that we received, we organized them into multiple categories, namely excellent, good, poor, and awful. We found out that 28.6% of the users found the app's usability to be excellent, whereas 25% of them found it to be good. Surprisingly, about 50% of the users found the usability of the application to be below average and gave it a score below 68. In order to investigate the data logging frequency, we asked users to report how frequently they missed logging details in the application. From the responses that we received, we found out that 53.57% reported that they rarely missed logging details, while 28.57% of them reported that they frequently missed logging details. In order to confirm these findings, we randomly selected about 60% of the participants and asked them to share their data logs. From the data logs that we received, we found that over the period of 10 days, the average number of meals reported were 19.22 with a standard deviation of 10.58. We also found that 94% of the participants who shared their logs missed logging any meal for at least one day, whereas 61% of them did not log any meal for at least 3 days. We also received qualitative responses from the users, and we thematically analyzed these responses into multiple themes. We basically asked questions about their motivation, users had questions about their motivation for using the application, any change in behavior that they noticed after using the app. We also asked them to report missing functionalities and specify their overall experience of using the application. One of the major themes that emerged out of the motivation of the app was with respect to weight watching. A lot of users reported that they were using the app either to put on, lose, or maintain weight. Another major theme was related to the food quality or nutrition. Users used the application to track their meals and also to keep a check on their calories. We also asked users to report any change in behavior with respect to their eating habits that they noticed after using the app for the set duration of 10 days. Similar to the motivation of the app, the major themes reported here were related to the food and to the weight or activity. Users reported that they became more self-conscious and self-aware of what they were eating, and this in turn helped them to cut out on the junk. We also asked users to report missing functionalities. The major themes that emerged here were related to the user interface, food database, serving size estimation, reminders, and intelligent tracking. Let us now look at the findings for each of these themes. Users reported the lack of a clean and user-friendly interface. Users reported that they wanted the UI to be more interactive, attractive, simplified, and easy to use. Another major observation was the low discoverability due to the presence of many features. For instance, users reported the absence of reminders in the app, even though the app provided them. Users reported the lack of a database specific to their geographic location. One of the users said that the app did not show recommendations specific to the user's location. Another difficulty that users faced was with respect to entering quantities in the application. As one user reported, I don't know how much ounce or gram of food I am consuming. Users also reported the absence of water drinking reminders and lack of proactive nudging. As one of the users said that the application did not have the ability to proactively remind you when you have crossed the daily calorie limit while ordering food online. Another difficulty faced by the users was with integrating the application with other physical activity trackers. Finally, we asked users to report their overall experience of using the application. We asked them to report the features that they liked and also the challenges that they faced while using the application. We segregated the responses that we received into being entirely positive, entirely negative, and a mix of positives and negatives, where users not only mentioned the features that they liked, but also specified the issues that they faced while using the app. We separately codified the responses that we received, the positive experiences and the negative experiences that we received. The major themes that emerged out of the positive experiences that were reported were related to the tracker and the food database. Users reported that the application helped them with nutrition tracking. Some of the users also appreciated the presence of some features such as saving frequently consumed meals and adding custom recipes. One of the users said, I found it exciting. Maintaining the diary was fun. From the negative experiences that were reported, the major themes that emerged were again related to the tracker and the food database, surprisingly. Users found it tedious and time-consuming to log food items day in and day out. They were also confused with a long list of options that were displayed for the same food item. Sometimes the user could not find the desired food item and would have to find close substitutes for the same. Since India is a diverse country with different cultures consuming different kinds of food items regularly, it was difficult for users to not have the option to filter based on their cuisine. Another major theme that emerged out of the negative experiences was related to the UI and the presentation of the app. Users reported that the UI of the app was not very appealing. Another difficulty faced by the users was selecting the quantity. Users expressed the need to have different metrics apart from the standard serving sizes. Another user logged data for the wrong date and did not find an option to change it later. So what are some of the possible things that could be done in order to tackle challenges faced by users? Users expressed the need for a concise home page where they could view the relevant details. In order to enable this, we suggest implementing personalized pages where users can view information that is most important to them. Another suggestion would be to provide a feature to copy logs from previous days, as a lot of users have meals that tend to repeat. In order to improve the food database, we suggest designing a dynamic food database based on the user location in order to refine the search experience. Another suggestion would be to apply simple filtering based on preferences of the user, depending on whether the user is a vegan, vegetarian, or non-vegetarian. User eating habits could also be monitored in order to improve the search experience for frequently consumed items. Instead of using explicit reminders, we suggest using context-aware reminders that are unobtrusive and also help in making the users aware. For increasing the user engagement, we suggest using approaches such as gamification and rewarding with leaderboards and badges. To make the application as one place to go to, we suggest the application enables seamless integration of different physical activity and sleep tracking devices and also inform mental health. This way, users can use the application for overall health and well-being. So basically, we found out that improvements can be made in the app in the areas of usability, user interface and navigation, food database, search experience, and user engagement. To sum it up, we basically investigated the major challenges that young adults face while using digital health monitoring applications. For this purpose, we conducted 2 user studies. The first study was conducted online, wherein we recruited over 150 participants. The second study was conducted with users belonging to the same geographic location. We recruited 31 participants for this study and instructed them to use the MyFitnessPal app for a period of 10 days and report their experience thereafter. We analyzed themes across motivation, behavior change, missing functionalities, and overall experience of users while using these applications. We aim to integrate these findings and perform future studies to increase user engagement in the long term. Thank you for listening to me patiently. I'd be happy to discuss further and also to take any questions that you have. You could also reach out to me via the email address provided on the slide. Thank you.